Welcome back to The Chilling Current. Tonight's episode comes from someone who didn't want their name used. They said, "If I tell you this, please don't say who I am. People already think I'm cursed." I asked why. They said, "Because I predicted something once, and it came true. And I'm terrified it's going to happen again." This is the true story of people who claim to have predicted disasters. And if you've ever had a bad feeling that turned out to be right, you might not sleep after this one. Some predictions are coincidences. Others are warnings. This is the only story I've received where the sender begged me not to read it after dark. If you've ever said, "I had a feeling something bad would happen," this story might explain why. The person who sent this, we'll call them Riley, grew up in a small coastal town. Quiet, peaceful, predictable, except for one thing. Every few years, someone in town would claim they saw a disaster before it happened. A fire, a flood, a car crash, a death. People brushed it off as superstition, coincidence, small town paranoia. But Riley said the predictions were always right. Always. And the people who made them, they never made it past their 20s. The earliest one Riley remembered was when they were 8. A teenage girl named Hannah ran into the town square screaming that the bridge was going to collapse. She said she saw it in a dream, said she heard the metal groaning, said she felt the water swallowing her. Everyone laughed, called her dramatic, told her to go home. 2 days later, the bridge collapsed. No one was on it. No one died, except Hannah. She was found in the river, miles downstream. No one knew why she was there. No one knew how she fell. No one knew why her hands were covered in rust. The town called it a tragic accident. Riley called it the beginning. Over the next decade, it kept happening. Someone would predict a disaster. The disaster would happen, and the predictor would die shortly after. A fisherman predicted a storm that wasn't on the radar. The storm hit. He drowned in calm water the next morning. A teacher predicted a gas leak at the school. The leak happened. She died in her sleep that night. A mechanic predicted a multi-car pileup on the highway. It happened. He was found crushed under his own car in his garage. The town stopped calling them coincidences. They started calling them warnings. But Riley noticed something no one else did. Every predictor said the same thing before they died. "I didn't predict it. I remembered it." Riley never believed in any of it. Until last year, they woke up one morning with a feeling, not fear, not anxiety, but certainty. They told their roommate, "There's going to be a fire at the old mill tonight." Their roommate laughed. The mill had been abandoned for years, but Riley couldn't shake it. They said it again and again. By evening, they were shaking, crying, begging someone to listen. No one did. At 11:42 p.m., the old mill caught fire. The flames were so bright they lit up the entire sky. The fire department said it was arson. Riley said it was memory. After the fire, Riley couldn't sleep. Every time they closed their eyes, they saw things. A flood swallowing the town square, a plane falling from the sky, a child screaming in a dark room, a building collapsing, a face they didn't recognize, crying, begging, reaching. Riley told themselves it was trauma, until one night they saw something else. Their own death. Not in a dream, not in a vision, in a memory. They saw themselves standing on the pier. They saw the sky turning black. They saw the water rising. They saw something pulling them under. And they heard a voice whisper, "It's your turn." Riley went to the oldest person in town, a woman named Me, who had lived through every prediction. Me didn't laugh, didn't doubt, didn't question. She simply said, "You're remembering the wrong timeline." Riley asked what that meant. Me said, "Disasters don't happen once. They happen over and over, in every version of the world. Some people, the sensitive ones, remember the versions where they died." Riley felt sick. Me continued, "When you remember a disaster, you're not predicting it. You're recalling the timeline where you didn't survive it. And when you remember it clearly enough, the timeline catches up." Riley whispered, "Can I stop it?" Me shook her head. "No one ever has." Riley sent me this story 2 weeks ago. They said they were leaving town, going somewhere far away, somewhere the water couldn't reach them. They said they were trying to outrun the memory. But yesterday, I received another message. No text, no explanation, just a photo, a blurry image of a pier, dark sky, rising water, and in the corner of the photo, a hand reaching up from the waves. On the back of the photo was one sentence. "It happened again. If you've ever had a feeling something bad was coming, if you've ever sensed danger before it happened, if you've ever dreamed of a disaster that later came true, ask yourself, was it a prediction or a memory? And if it was a memory, what timeline are you remembering? And when will it catch up?"